right. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello, people. Hello. So my camera's over here, but the chat is here. So I'm going to be doing this number again. I'm in the office today. Normally, also let me know if the music's too loud, mic is weird. It's a different mic. The mic is new. So just let me know if it's too much, not enough. Let me know. But hello. I'm all alone. How weird is this? It's like so weird. Oh, so good. Yay. Glad you hear me loud and clear. Does the music need to go up or is it good? Like, we good? We cool? I don't even know what station I'm on. I don't know. Something interesting. Oh, you know what? I bet. Whoop. Super awkward for a second. Hi. Let's move this right here. Maybe. Oh, come on. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay, how's that? Aha. It's a little crooked though. Boop. There we go. Mic is good. Can barely hear the music, huh? Let me turn it up just like a smidgen then. Just like a smidge. Because like it's pretty cool. I can barely hear it, but that's because I have it in my headphones, and I only have it in my headphones so that it's not like in your face, and then getting it on the microphone and stuff. I actually might even. I'm just gonna take this off because they're kind of bugging me. Oh, hello, my lovely people. Okay, I have a stack of books. It's a bigger stack than it looks. The stack is bigger than the amount of books. What I'm talking about? It's fine. Whatever. But yeah, I am totally, my kids are in school, so I'm able to stream during the day, like while the sun's out. I don't know what this magic is, but you know, apparently that's what people can do. Who knew? Oh man, okay. So first of all, Lise knows this, that I am, like if I find something, I kind of fixate, and then I just kind of like stick with it all the time. I'm going to move the chat box a little bit here. Wait, chat box. Yeah, let's move that up and over a smidge because that looked wonky. Okay, there. Now I'm done. Whew, I swear. I'm done. And so does Raphael. They both know that once I find something that I really like, that whether or not it's bookish, gamer, nerd, anything, I fixate and I get excited and I just support maybe a little too much. But I recently purchased from Geeky Girl Sense, but I found her like, I don't know, over a year ago. But I didn't buy from her because here's the deal. I don't do candles because I forget. Hi, Crystal. Or Kitty, whatever. My people. I don't burn candles. I forget to, yay! Oh, that'd be so cool. So I forget to like blow out the candle. Okay. Like I don't do candles. And then I know this is going to sound dumb. But then there's these things called candle warmers. And I was like, oh, because I have wax warmers, but you don't really buy a candle to do a wax. And honestly, if I'm going to spend money on like fandom smells, I want them to look cool. And the candles look cooler than the wax melts. Let's be honest, right? So anyway, let me show you just a couple. Oh my gosh. I bought like a lot. I think it was 9 or 12. It's a whole shelf of one of my shelves. Anyway, but one of them is the Hero of Time. Oh, you can't even see it. Hold on. Let me turn that. Aha! There we go. The Hero of Time, because I am a huge Zelda nerd, as most of you know, because I also stream Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword. So there's no sparkles in this one, but my gosh, it smells good. It's supposed to be oak moss, cedarwood, and musk. And oh my gosh, it smells so good. So she's discontinuing this smell, so I was kind of sad, but I grabbed one right before I saw that she was discontinuing it. So, woo. Oh my gosh. Raph's last one was super fun. I enjoyed it immensely. We talked about all kinds of things. It was awesome. I bought this one because it's gamer. And it has like these cute little, oh, I only got one, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, these cute little sprinkle, like piece of heart things in there. It's adorable. And this one is a lemon lime soda and cherry. So it smells like an arcade, but without the urine smell that's usually in an arcade. Because let's be real, bodily fluids happen at an arcade. We all know how much I love ACOTAR, or A Court of Thorns and Roses, for those that don't know what that is. And A Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite. It's book number 2. It's my absolute favorite. And so she has this City of Starlight candle. And guys, that's just the candle. Like, it's so sparkly. And then you open it, and it has more sparkles. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ooh. Wait. TTRPG. I know RPG is like a role-playing game, but now I'm feeling really dumb that I don't remember what TT means. You're just going to have to remind me. And this one is Night Blooming Jasmine and Mountain Mist. That's really hard to read. It's really hard to read on the label. And then the last one I'm going to show you is one that I bought specifically because I'm on the street team for Miranda Lynn for her next novel. It's coming out in October, called Tides in Ruin. Oh, Tabletop! Duh! See? I knew what it was. But I bought this specifically because I'm on her street team, and I wanted something really cool to do pictures with, and it's about a siren who falls in love with a fae, and anyway, it's this whole thing. It goes alongside her Fae Rising series, which is like one of my top favorites. I love it so much. It's got a nice spice level too. It increases as you go through the books. But this one's called Siren. Woo, there we go. I'm getting used to the camera being the correct way. And it has a little mermaid sprinkle in it. And look at those sparkles. Sparkles! So I'm going to take some really cool pictures. I have... when we were on vacation, second week of the month of July. We're still in July, right? Yeah, we're still in July. So we went to the beach. It's been the first time I've been on the beach 4 or 5 years, somewhere in there. And I took some really interesting pictures. I had images in my brain of how I wanted these pictures to go. But then once you get there and you have your kids and your husband and your parents, and so you're trying to like make sure nobody falls in the ocean, make sure everybody stays put, whatever else. The pictures that I had in my brain didn't happen. But I did get a couple ones where I'm wearing I have a shirt over my swimming suit that says, see you where the sea meets the sky, which is like the tagline for her book. Hold on, I'm going to try like, there we go. But you don't need to see. Yeah, there we go. There, now I'm a little more center. Anyway, I have that on like over my swimsuit, and quite frankly, it's really, it was difficult to have pictures taken of me in my swimming suit. I am not a very confident person, but I did it, and I'm going to use those with a couple like staged photos in a post for her book, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, now that we're done with that part, let's get to the books. Now, I'm not going to talk about a ton of books right now, because then we can just like chit chat and do whatever else. But I will talk about a couple. I'm going to talk with this duology that the first book came out in 2019 or 2020. Came out in 2020, but I didn't find it until January of this year. So it's counted on my 2021 books. Hopefully that makes sense. So the first one, oh gosh, is Dust. Okay, that ring light is not helping me now, but that's fine, whatever. Dust by Kara Swanson. This is a Peter Pan retelling. And then its sequel is Shadow. And this came out on the 13th of July. I got lucky and I got to read an arc of this. It's so good. And like, look at them together. Like, aren't those just magical? Now, they don't have like a cool naked cover. Like, it's just foil. I mean, it's still cool because it's foil, but like, it's just foil. It's not, there's not a picture or anything. But I loved these books. So yeah, it's a Peter Pan retelling, but it's about Claire and Connor, who are twins. Peter comes and takes Connor to Neverland, and Claire gets left behind. So she resents Peter Pan because in her brain, he's just a story that stole her brother, and her brother's been kidnapped and they can't find him. Or whatever else. And then Peter comes crashing back into her life because he needs her help to save Neverland. And she's like, bro. I don't do that. So they have to like navigate all of the emotions of betrayal and trauma and grief and happiness. And oh my gosh, seriously, Eli, you need to read these. These are so good. Dust was on sale for like $6 in like January, and it does that every so often. It's like if you have it in your, it was on Amazon. If you have it in your Amazon cart, you just watch it drops like every so often. And then Shadow has been dropping too. I love Peter Pan too. I didn't realize how much I loved Peter Pan until I looked at my bookshelf, and I have like Peter Pan, and then I have these, and I have Lost in the Neverwoods, which loved. I think you also told me to read that one. Look what you've done. And then Peter and the Starcatchers. I think there's another one too. But like I have quite a few. Yeah, yes. You need to read Dust and Shadow. So good. So good. Ah! See, and then like I have this thing. This is full of bookmarks, okay? This is from Creative Chaotic. She did a Howl one for me. But with Shadow, because I pre-ordered it, there was like a pre-order. Nope. Hold on. I have to pull them out because I don't remember where they are. There was a pre-order, incentive or whatever. There we go, or pre-order goodies. And I got them all yesterday. Like, check it out! So, wait, which way is it going? Peter. Tiger Lily. Connor. Ooh. Hint. Connor. This is Claire. She's so pretty. El Capitan Hook. And then, like... Oh, and this is... this is Toodles. Toodles. Like, my favorite Lost Boy. And then these are, like... This has a bunch of quotes on... No, not that one. Sorry, this one. It's back... I know it's forwards to you, but it's backwards to me, so I don't remember which one. Falling out of the sky is far less fun than it sounds. The Never Sea wrestles control, swallowing me up. The island isn't just angry. Neverland is afraid. And fighting for Neverland before its light goes out might just be the biggest adventure of all. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. It's, oh my gosh, it was so good. It's so cathartic. Like how Lost in the Neverwoods talks more about, like the, I don't know if it's a fan theory or just like another theory that, Peter is the spirit that comes to get the kids after they've died to help them not be scared as they go to heaven or whatever. It kind of goes into like that myth in Neverwoods, whereas this one, it's more literal of like how Peter's tied to Neverland, and so as long as he's good, Neverland's good type thing. It's so good. So good. And I just found it in January, and I've been singing its praises ever since. Okay, so there's that one. The next one I'm gonna do is one that I read because everybody was talking about how amazing it was, or it is, and how much they love the author. And to be fair, I've never read anything by this author before. I have her tetralogy. I don't know how many books she's written, 3 or 4. But I haven't read them yet. Like, they're on my wish list. But I was like, well, this is cool. And I saw it at Walmart. and it was a signed copy, and I was like, that's really cool. So I bought Realmbreaker, okay, by Victoria Aveyard? Aveyard? Aveyard. Aveyard? I don't know. Look at this thick Mama Jamma, first of all. Thick. I mean, this is like Court of Mist and Fury thick, you know? It's not quite Silver Flames thick, but it's a thick Mama Jamma. And the other reason why I loved it so much, just by looking at it, check out this map. Like, look at this map. Look at this. Look at this. It's a full color map. And I think it's the same on both sides. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the same on both sides. So here's the deal. I only gave it a 3-star. I'm so sorry that I'm pretty sure I just like slammed the microphone. I'm sorry. I only gave it a 3-star. But let me tell you why. This is clearly the first one in a series. Like, clearly gonna be at least 2 or 3. Like, at least 2 or 3. So I think it fell to the first book in a series where they have to set up everything, because it started out with a bang, and it's just, there's all this action and there's all this stuff, and then I'm not kidding, until like the last fourth of the book, it's just talking about how they're walking to different places and they're looking for different people and they need to find this and they need to find that, and what if they can't do it, and like whatever. Guys, this is I don't even know how many pages this is. Hold on, how many pages is this? A $563 page book. 563 pages. And I'm going to say about 60 of those pages had like the really good like action sequences where you're like, oh yeah, and your heart's racing and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And then the rest of it was just like, oh my gosh. I started this book like 4th of July, and I just finished it like 2 days ago. That's how bored I was. But I was going to persevere because I'm like, it's written well. I'm just bored. Like, I have there's nothing keeping me here. And then the end happened, and I was like, okay, clearly this is like going to be a series. So I have a feeling that book 2 is going to be way more. And hopefully less. Like, way more good, less boring. But I mean, I haven't read her Red Queen series, but I hear nothing but good things about it. I just haven't read it yet, so I don't know, you know? Because here's the thing. I am a fast reader. I can read books really quick. Audiobooks take me like 3 times as long to read. Still counts as reading, but like you're not actively reading the book, you're listening to it. Audiobooks take me at least 3 times as long. Books I can pretty much churn right through. I struggled so hard with this book, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get through this because friends have said it's really good, so maybe it gets good. And it did. Like, it got pretty okay. It got really good towards the end. But it took until the end. And it is a multiple POV book, so there's like 6 characters that it rotates between. It was almost as bad as Six of Crows. And listen, I loved Six of Crows mostly. But having the constant change of who was talking just like kind of confused me. You can keep me for a certain bit, but then like you have 6 different people that I have to read what their thoughts are on this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Give me 2, maybe 3. And that's about it. This has 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, no. Hold on. 1, 2. There's at least 4. There's at least 4 or 5. But it's an interesting concept. I just wish she had shortened it a smidge or something. Okay. The next one is one that I loved, and everybody's been talking about this book, so I'm not going to talk about it like forever. But I loved Legendborn. Okay? This is a King Arthur retelling. Ooh. And yes, 2 different kinds of magic. So that's not giving anything away because that's kind of obvious by the cover. She just announced book 2 and that it's, oh my gosh, I've already forgotten. Bloodworm? Bloodwork? Oh my gosh, guys, what was the title? Crap. But she announced book 2 and I'm like, get it done! I'm dying. I loved Legendborn. Loved it. And I read it before, like, the big arc, you know, like, I read it, I think it was right after it came out, or something. Like, I was into it, or I heard about it, and I was like, ooh, I love that idea. Bloodmarked! Thank you! I was like, what did she call it? Ah! But this follows Bree, whose mom just died. Oh my gosh, did I already talk about this? I may have already talked about it, but because I love it so much, I'm going to talk about it again. I don't even care. Her mom just died, and, like, with her death was, like, a whole bunch of secrets that she didn't know that her mom had. And then she's approached by this society, the secret society of the Knights of the Round Table. And intrigues ensue. But let me also tell you that my girl Bree needs to go to therapy. She needs a therapist before any, because of course everyone's like, oh, who do you ship her with? Because there's a couple guys. There's a couple guys in the book. Both of them are great. Both of them are crappy. They have stuff. So it's like, your girl's got to go to therapy and figure herself out before she decides where she's going to let somebody stick something. I'm just saying. Therapy needs to happen. That's all I'm saying. And she's only 16, okay? Now, I need more books with, like, my age of people that are saving the world. You know what I mean? Like, I said it, and I stand by it. Okay. The last set that I wanted to talk about today, because, I mean, we can just chat all kinds of books later, but, these books came out in, like, the first one came out in 2017, and I hadn't heard of it. Yeah! I mean, for real. Okay? As someone who was involved in a love triangle in, like, high school, but I won because I married the guy. So anyways, woo! Anywho, different kind of love triangle. A very G-rated love triangle in high school. It's just something that, like, it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary in teenage lives, and it's a constant trope in YA books. And I'm like, are we perpetrating this behavior in teens, or are we just forcing it upon them? Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway. This last trilogy, I know a couple people were doing, like, a buddy read through the whole series recently. But I just hadn't, like... Honestly, I thought they were scary. I thought it was, like, a thriller series, and I don't do spookers of any kind. I don't like them. I don't like thrillers. I don't like horror. I don't like scary, like, just anything spooky. It's not my thing. Dark fantasy, to a degree, I can handle. To a degree. This is about as dark, and it's not even that dark, which is why it's fine. Like Enchantment of Ravens, that one's kind of a dark fantasy. That's talking about the Fae as they really are, not like these pretty with the pointed ears and, oh, I love you so much. No. These are like the Fae that you knew in, like, the fairy tales that are tricksy and, you know, anything else. So, anywho's. Yes, high school setting with extreme adult behaviors. I mean, for real. Like, I don't understand. But I read... Wait, let's go this way. This should work better. Let me see if I can get all three in my hands. The Bone Witch trilogy. Y'all. Why has no one else been talking about these books? Why? Why are these not all over Bookstagram? Why are these, like, I don't understand. Where's the hype? These books are freaking fantastic. Yes, I loved them so much. Okay, now listen. I listened to them on audio, or Audible. I listened to them on Audible. I will say that the performances did help sway me to like them, because they were just like so good. They were so good. And with the pronunciations, because these are all like Asian based, so some of the names I know for sure I would have said them wrong. Faux show. Would have said them wrong. So I'm glad that I listened to it because of all the different names, which I try to do when I know that the author, like whether the author is a different nationality than me, or if I know that their story is, I try to listen to it so that I know how the names are supposed to be pronounced. I know how the places are supposed to be pronounced, because even with pronunciation guides, y'all, come on. Let's be real. Who really pays attention to the pronunciation guides? I don't. Because I don't totally understand them. But, okay, like, I listened to this on a whim because this is included in an Audible Plus membership. They were having a deal, and anyway, I'm not keeping it, but it's fine. So, I listened to this first one, and I was like, I wonder what this is about. Like, is she, like, this creepy, like, she's a bone witch? Like, she's made of bones? No. She is a dark Asha that can summon the dead and raise the dead. The first thing is, let me be clear, I never intended to raise my brother from his grave. What? So, it's like, huh? And then all 3 books are on Audible. Now, I will say that when it comes to like name pronunciation, the first 2 books they pronounced one name one way, and then in the 3rd book they pronounced his name differently. So I don't know which one is right. Oh my gosh, dude. Yes, the foil. Okay. So also, you can get Heartforger, which is the 2nd book, and Shadow Glass, 3rd book, on Amazon for like, I don't know, $8, $10 maybe. But like, I mean, Heartforger's got the like red crimson foil. And then Shadow Glass has the silver. Oh, it's so pretty. However, Bone Witch hardcover, I went on eBay and found it. But I got a like new one. So the only thing is that it's like got this like little bent corner. I'm like, done. So I feel like these books are like perfect for spooky season without being spooky. I enjoyed them. Yeah, I can't handle paperbacks. I don't like them, like at all. They drive me absolutely bonkers. Like, it's a thing with me. It's just like a thing. In fact, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, come back. Hold on. Okay. I was just like, oh my gosh, hold on. I should grab. So anyway. The only paperback books that I get are ones that like were never available in hardcover or are like brand spanking new. So hardcover hasn't become available yet. But I did get this book, which was Raphael's friend wrote this book. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to read it this month. Or August. This is on my August TBR to finish, because look at this thick thing. This thing is huge. And it is a paperback, but because it's so thick, it doesn't feel like a flimsy little paperback. So I'm actually really excited. And her book comes, because it's a playlist, it actually has, like, every chapter is a song. So I'm like, done. So this is by Piper B. This is the deluxe. She did different versions. So, like, this is the deluxe version. Then she has one that's skinnier. I don't necessarily know what the difference is. I just know this was on sale on her website, and I was like, done, I want it. So I bought it. Because that's what I do. So I just started the first book of this series. That's why it's not with me. It's in my bedroom. Think of what it was. But I started Rachel Shade, whatever. Her Kingdom books, because her Empire of Dragons book is coming out September. I think it's September, and she said that that one takes place like in the same universe as these. So, hold on. Here we go. This is book 2 and 3. So Forsaken Kingdom and Broken Kingdom, the first book is called Silent Kingdom. And like you can kind of tell that there's some sort of animal. I haven't but like that's got to be like a dragon or something. I haven't gotten super far into Silent Kingdom. I'm about 50 pages in, but it's smaller than this one, like a little bit smaller than this one. So I'll be done with that pretty quick. But let me tell you, so I met Rachel through Fablebands, because we were reps together for a while, and I met her through that, and I didn't know that she wrote books, because I'm a dork. And so I said, hey, I want to pre-order your Empire of Dragons, because we don't have enough dragons. Oh my gosh, that was the other thing, is Bone Witch has a dragon, a 3-headed dragon, called the Aussie. Anyway, I got excited with the dragon. See, the one head and then the two. Anyway, I wanted to pre-order her dragon book because I love unicorns, as all of you know, obviously. But I also love dragons, and I love fairies, like little Tinkerbell fairies, like little pixies. Pixies are fine too, but like fairies as little kids think of them. I like those kind of fairies too, not just like the fae, but I love fantastical creatures. And there just aren't enough dragon books like in the world. And as much as the Aragon books are like, they're And I've read them, but they're still just like, meh. But anywho, that's beyond the point. Beyond the point. So when I messaged her, I'm like, hey, I want to pre-order your dragon book. She was like, oh, great. You're probably going to want to read the trilogy first. And I was like, you have a trilogy? Like, I'm that dumb. Okay. She has it plastered everywhere. I just didn't see it. So, her books are available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription like I do, they're there and you can read those for free anytime. But I was like, you know what? I want the physicals. Like, I do better with physical than I do with like an ebook or an audiobook. I just do better with physical in my hand. And these, they weren't like super cheap, but they were fine. I think they were $15 or less. So these are the two. And then the first one is Silent Kingdom, and it's the same kind, but it's blue. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And her book starts out with a bang and doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped yet. Physical. I need to have them in my hands. Okay. And because I have these new bookshelves, these bookcases, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I need more books. I need to buy more books. Which, okay. So I'm slowly, I've always liked the Sailor Moon manga. Like, that's what I grew up kind of reading. So I have 1 through 3 right now. 4 apparently is like back ordered through Books A Million. I don't even want to get into it. It's a mess. But I have 4, and then 5 through 10, I'm like waiting for payday, and then I'm going to get the rest. Because I only want those. And there's only 10 of them, so I'm like, well, all I want is the Sailor Moon ones. My husband, on the other hand, loves One Piece. Like, I like it too. We watched the show together and everything else, but I don't know if you know that One Piece started out as a manga like it's a manga. It's still going. Like he's not done yet. It's still going. And so we found, oh my gosh, I think he's up to like 97, maybe 100 editions, and they're like this big. Like they're huge mangas, okay? So he goes on eBay, and Luffy is the best. Although, I'm sorry, I'm a Zoro girl. I love Zoro, and I love Chopper. Chopper and Zoro are like pitter patter. I love them so much. Zoro because he's a total idiot. And he's just like, whoop! I love him so much. Probably also because his voice is Piccolo, and I just like his voice. I don't like Piccolo, but I liked his voice. And then, so he found 1 through 75 from this guy on eBay. And so I have 75 mangas of One Piece coming to my house. And I have to figure out where the heck I'm going to put it. Because... No, I saw it. No, I totally saw the cup, and I was like, hey Hubs, you want a cup? I just don't know if he'll like want it, you know, because I wouldn't drink out of it. It would be his, and he was like, So I thought it was super cool though, and I shared it. Because I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad that she's doing a lot of anime stuff. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting the microphone because I forget it's there. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But like, so in paperback, so going back to like paperbacks versus hardbacks, when you have manga, like they don't make them in hardcover, obviously. So it's just like, well, that's going to be paperback regardless. And I'm okay with that. Like that's fine when like that's the format that it's in, totally fine. But if there's an option, Mama's going to go for hardcover because that's what I prefer. Okay, so Rachel's books, super good. They're on Kindle Unlimited if you have them. Yeah, you want a cup? Yeah. Well, so here's the deal. He just doesn't drink. Let me rephrase. He will just grab a cup. He doesn't like look at them. He doesn't like. He just grabs, you know, so it kind of be lost on him. So I may get one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So, anyways. Like I have the Sailor Moon one. Both of the Sailor Moon ones. I got the Bow and the Moon Prism Power makeup one. So, I love witchy books, which is also why I got the Bone Witch, because I was like, ooh, witches. I love witches. And, this has been on my wish list for, I don't know, since it came out last year. And I kept meaning to grab it, and then I never did. So I finally bought it, Once and Future Witches. I have no idea if I'm going to like it or not. I have not a dang clue. So, I don't know if this is any good. I hope it is. Because it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful looking book. So I hope it's good. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this. This is going to be in my August, read TBR, I guess. I don't know. You're okay. And then I got The Near Witch from V.E. Schwab. I did not know that this was her first book. And it was on sale for, again, like $10. And I was like, done. Because I love V.E. Schwab. I love her. Yes. Okay, yeah, it does. Like, this does. It looks just like it. And so for the longest time, I thought that's what this was because I hadn't read either one of them yet. And now I've read These Violent Delights, and now I'm going to read this one. And then The Near Witch. And this is like a special anniversary. Ooh. I didn't know she was on there. Look at that. Ooh, snap. Is there anything back there? No. But it's this really, like, pretty purple. You can't even tell. But it's like this plum. And it came with, Good! Yeah, keep an eye out for that UPS truck. You tell them to hurry the heck up and get there to you. Oh my gosh. Ah! And it has a ribbon bookmark attached to it too. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm not even sure if I need it to be good. I'm just excited about it. I may have ordered her something and it's coming today. So, anyways. And then this one is like, I saw this on Book Talk first, and then somebody else talked about it. But I was like, ooh, I love, like, new books. I did. I love new books that I hadn't ever even, like, seen anything about until, like, I don't know. I saw it on Book Talk, and then 2 days later, somebody on Instagram was talking about it. So I was like, oh. But I think it's like an indie-ish book. I think it's an indie-ish book. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. But I loved the idea. I'm like, these Hollow Vows, I just liked the name of it, and I liked the, like, cover. I know. Listen, when you start to write your book, you know I'll read it for you. Although I'm not the greatest, like, judge of books. I am one that, like, if it catches me, I'll tell you. If it doesn't, I'll tell you. But other than that, I wouldn't be like, this is going to be a Pulitzer Prize winning book or anything like that. Like, I'm not very good at that. Okay, give me a second. Just responding to a message really fast, sorry. Hold on, sorry. This is what happens when I'm, like, alone for the first time in almost a year and a half. It's crazy. Okay, so here we go. Okay, all right, and okay. Whew. The other one that I have that's going to be on my TBR for August is the second book in the Star Wars series. I can't believe what it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the second book. The Rising Storm. Might be Rising Storm. I know, now we can have soda dates. I know, I'm excited. I can't do it this week because this week I'm still helping with my grandma. And that's a whole mess. But, you know, doing my best to make it so I can do things that I want to do. Anyway, so I'm going to read the second Star Wars book because I read the ones that are now in the High Republic. So the first one was Light of the Jedi. I think this one's called Rising Storm. I'm like 90% sure. The first book is white. The second book is black. I don't know if there's going to be more. But I'm going to read that because I've been dying to know what happens after the first one. The first one was like a slow burn too. Like it took a minute for me to kind of get in there. But that's because I'm completely unfamiliar with anything in this new universe of Star Wars that they decided to do, which is fine. I'm all about new, like, fun new things. I just didn't necessarily know. There were no familiar planets except for Coruscant. So that was a little weird. Let's see. So we've got Darkness Rising. We've got these ones that I talked about. I have a couple E-arcs that I gotta finish. I gotta read Cupids in Chaos by Darby Cupid, and I loved her Star Latin series. Loved it. It was so good. So good. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. It's a trilogy, so there's 3. There's Crystal, something, and Legacy. But purple, green, blue are the colors of the covers. And loved it. It was so good. It's more sci-fi than fantasy, which was really cool. And then I'm on her street team as well for Cupids in Chaos. And I'm really excited about that one. Forbidden Love and all that fun stuff. And then, let's see. Cupids in Chaos. I have the Iron Widow that I really need to sit down and read and get that just like done. And I have a couple audiobooks. But I also need like Audible. I love my Kindle Unlimited. But I also need like my Audible like recommendations. I gotta have better books. I only get 1 credit a month. And the last one I totally was trying to listen to From Blood and Ash again, and I couldn't do it. I got so bored, and I just didn't care. Like, I didn't care enough. So I was done. I was like, I don't want to read this anymore. So I'm not going to do From Blood and Ash. And I hope I can still be like friends with people because I'm not going to read that book. But like I have a credit, so I'm debating if I want to do like A Darker Shade of Magic, because I started to listen to that one a few months ago and then just like didn't. Right? Yeah. So I have Iron Widow. I feel like it's just going to take a lot of concentration. And I haven't been very good with concentration right now. And like recently, I just have not been good with that. And it's, I need to be able to focus. Now I can probably do it because my kids are in school all day, which is like glorious. But anyway, so I have that, and then I have I have like 14 arcs that I need to read, but I don't have like a set schedule. I probably should though. It's because I usually am able to run right through them, and I just haven't been able to. This month I read a lot of books, but I also am like, I'm slowing down. It's so much harder for me to read right now, and I don't know if I'm just in like a rut or what, but I have enjoyed most of the books that I've read this year. I did DNF about 7 books this month. No, I think it was 6. I think it was 6 books this month that I was just like, I'm not even finishing. I can't even finish this. And that includes From Blood and Ash. And there were a couple arcs that I'm like, I am not finishing this. And there was one arc that I got that was just what the description said versus what the book started talking about. I was like, oh, no. So I just, not doing that. And then there was one that was like all about feminists, which was fine, but then again, I got bored. So I realized I don't have to stay and read it if it's not entertaining, you know? Because there are some books that it's like, well, you should read that way you get educated. Then there's these other books where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I know it takes a lot in me to DNF something because I just feel so bad, especially with the arcs, where I'm like, I just got an arc and I don't like it, but somebody else could have had it and liked it. Oops, you know. There was one that I haven't completely finished. I got about halfway and then did my review on NetGalley and sent it because I knew I would like it. I just haven't finished it yet. It's called The Accidental Gatekeeper, and it's a fantasy with like angels and demons. It's like a supernatural twist, like on the show Supernatural, and like in my brain that's what I thought of was Supernatural. And the MC who's supposed to save the world is 35. No, 45. 45? She's old enough to have like a 20-year-old kid. So I was like, dude, yes. And the book takes place in like this podunk town in Texas. There we go. I'm going to turn that off now so it's not on my glasses. So like that was pretty cool. I haven't finished it yet, but I read enough of it that I'm like, I totally know I'm going to like this book. So I got excited for it. So I want to finish that. I'll finish it eventually. I'm not stressed. I finished enough of it that I'm counting it as one of my books for July. Because that's what I'm going to do. So, we've talked about candles. We've talked about books. We've talked about things that are coming. And I think I'm going to go eat some lunch now. Because I haven't eaten yet today. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm hoping to go, I'll probably try to go live again on Friday. That's my thought, is Friday, because I'll have like way more time and I'll have a better like grip on my reality at the moment. Yeah, so thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Rafa. And then you text me when UPS comes. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day. Fantastic Monday, fantastic week. You can find me on Instagram still. I'll still be there. Twitter, I'm like a half there, half not. But thank you all, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'm so glad you guys